What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video. It is Saturday. It is July 27th. Hopefully, we have a fantastic Saturday for you. If you're new to the channel, we do things differently. You can see the length of the video. Already longer than probably what you're used to, but this is Saturday. We have time for research. We are going to make you a better DFS player. Now, how do we do that? We go game by game. We look at the pitchers. We look at the matchups. We look at everything. And we're going to use our sponsor, Outlier.Bet. So get ready, buckle up, or you're in for a treat, hopefully. On top of that, if this video is maybe a little bit longer, you need an abbreviated version. In the description down below, we have today's article, which we give players at each position, about 5 plays at each position. And on top of that, we give you a few stacks that we like as well. So helping to support the channel would be clicking the article to go to the website to check everything out. Also clicking on the ads on the video and the article. I know they're annoying. They help out as well. Watching the entire video helps out the channel. And we have some merch down below you can also purchase. Get some stickers. Help out the channel as well. So other ways to help, just share the video. Follow us on Twitter /X at advisors_team. We're trying to get over there as well. So we have giveaways every single day. 2 giveaways every single day, as long as I remember the keyword because I've been tired. But how to win. Like this video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment. Hopefully a positive comment, but there are some people that get the pin of shame because of some of the comments they leave. Hopefully that's not you. But if this video gets at least 50 likes, you will have a chance to win a free week of FTA+. That is a week of MLB, that is PGA, MMA. NASCAR is off for 2 weeks, so if you win a week here, it will not, it doesn't count. There's no NASCAR for a couple of weeks. But we still have NFL in a month and a half. We're very excited. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you have a chance at a free month of FTA+. 150 likes, a free $200 year, or 200 or more likes on the video. Leave a comment. Be a subscriber here. You have a chance to win a $500 lifetime pass. The other way to win a lifetime pass, once we hit 10,000 YouTube subscribers on this YouTube channel, we will give away a lifetime pass to one subscriber. And if we can hit that before the start of the NFL season on that Thursday night football game, we will give away 2 lifetime passes. So we're very close. I think I don't even remember how many we are now. I haven't looked, but we're inching up there, and I cannot wait to hit 10,000 YouTube subscribers. So thank you guys for all the love and support that you have shown us since last MLB season. On top of that, the second way to win, somewhere in this video, I will leave a keyword. Listen for that keyword, type it into the comment section, hit the enter button. That's it. You can win twice in a day if you want. So we are going to have that giveaway real quick for yesterday's video. So in that video, we had 68 comments and 92 likes. So we almost hit the 100 likes mark, but someone is going to win a free week. Now I'm going to re-roll. I'm going to roll it here. Even if the keyword is in there, we're still going to re-roll it. So we will have a chance at 2 separate winners, or maybe the same person will win back to back. Never had it before, but very, very close. So John Napolitano, just to take a nap, thank you for everything you do. So the keyword yesterday was nap, but we're not using that here. But John, if you do not already have an account, email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp, the number 1, @gmail.com, and let us know that username and email you would like on there. If you already have a username, let me know your username on the website, and I will get you set up for that free week of FTA+. Now, I'm going to re-roll this. Now, yesterday's video, we re-rolled it, and it was the exact same comment randomly, but they did not have the keyword there. So if this re-rolls and it's him, he does have the keyword, but good luck to everybody. And here is the keyword winner from Friday's video. Pollock Hillbilly 4492. He has won multiple times. You can win multiple times, same day or back to back. So just email me again. I can't remember your username off the top of my head. I'm very tired, but I will set you up with that free week. So congratulations to both of you. We will do the same thing tomorrow, as long as this video gets at least 50 likes. But I know we will. I know you guys will help us out there. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at, we have 3 different slates on DraftKings. We're going to look at those 3 slates. Towards the end of the video, we're going to give you the top 5 pitchers, in this case, top 6 pitchers, for pitches be crazy. Now, what that is the top 5 or the bottom 5 teams that strike out the most. We'll give you the pitchers that are going up against them. Preface this by saying, again, the trade deadline is Tuesday. With the deadline approaching here, people are going to be traded. We saw a ton of trades happen Thursday and Friday. We're probably going to see some more over the weekend, if not already today, depending on when you watch this video. And we're going to see some moving forward. So do not be screwed over, because some of these players will move, and you'll get a big goose egg if you use them in their lineup. So I just want to let you know that. Also, depending on when you watch this video, we have MMA tonight. So definitely check out MMA. We've been killing it. We've got sports bets. We've got MMA. We've got it all. So I want to look at MLB odds real quick because some just don't make sense to me. Now, these are on the website. You can go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, MLB tab, everything you see here. Go check it out. But the Yankees having the top implied run team total against Cutter Crawford, who just faced them a couple of weeks ago on Sunday Night Baseball and threw like 70 pitches in the 8th inning or something like that. Somehow, they have the highest over implied run team total here with an over-under of 9.5. I don't know why. The Yankees they put up runs, but they look like absolute garbage. It's wild how many games over 500 they are and how bad of a team they are right now. Phillies being number 2 against Carlos Carrasco. I love that. I love a Philly stack today. Angels against Mitch Spence. I liked him yesterday because I thought it was supposed to be Mitch Spence, and then it wasn't. So I still like that stack. Next up, we've got the Orioles over Michael King for the 4th highest projected total runs, and then we've got the Diamondbacks over Marco Gonzalez at Chase Field at 4.72 fantasy or implied runs for themselves. So then you can look at the ballpark factors, which we have on the website. You can, if depending on how you want to look at this, maybe you want to look at home run average or number of home runs because, chicks dig the long ball. You can see Oriole Park. Orioles, they put up the second most amount of runs per game this year. Their stadium has given up 138 home runs. They're ranked 5th overall, so they're not even top, but they're 5th overall of... which doesn't make a little bit of sense because then you got Minute Maid Park with 134 ranked 3rd. So it's a little bit skewed, but you can see a ton of home runs are happening in these ballparks with these teams. That is where we will find, hopefully, some value. You can find the slugging. You can find just some of the targets of the games that you want. Now, that being said, again, we have a full slate. We're going to look at them. We're going to check it out. We have a 4-game early slate here. Weather looks to be good in most ballparks today. There's a couple of concerns, but we should be good there, I think. Obviously, check out the weather a little bit closer to lineup lock for whichever slate you're using. But there's a lot of things to like here today. So we are going to dig in. Ballpark factors. Guaranteed rate field between the Seattle Mariners and the White Sox. We saw Seattle put up 8 runs in the first inning yesterday. They've got the second highest odds for home runs today. Milwaukee have the highest at 18%, and then Angel Stadium 11%. If you want to see this chart on top of projected run totals, check out the Discord down below. We will have it there. So that being said, I know someone's gonna be like, "This is a very long intro." There's why there's chapters, bucko. Click the next chapter, buddy, old pal. So anyway, Lorenzen versus Kevin Gausman. Now, Gausman's name has been floated for trades, but it sounds like they're going to keep him. So we look at this. And then we look at this. You got Michael King. So this is where it's a little bit, you got to dig in the numbers a little bit. Michael King is the highest priced pitcher on this slate, but all indications with Vegas and stuff say that Baltimore's going to score the most amount of runs here. So that's the second most amount of runs. So that maybe it's a trap. Kind of feel a little bit out. You got Michael King, which, he's expensive there. So we will get to that when we get to that game. So we've got Dean Kramer going in that same game as well. So Kevin Gausman versus Michael Lorenzen. Lorenzen's won that. He's got a 3.53 ERA. He has not faced Toronto this year. And pitching on the road, he has a 3.77. So we would look at Toronto bats in that situation. And what I like is Outlier.Bet right here. is what we'll talk about. But Outlier.Bet is the sponsor for today's video and the videos moving forward. We're very excited for when NFL comes back. It's going to be awesome. But they combine multiple websites into one to give you insights, to give you popular bets for the day, which aren't there yet because it's so early. So what it does is during the day, once we see some trends in betting, this will populate in here for Fanduel, DraftKings, ESPN Bet, Caesars, BetMGM, Bet365. You will see that here. So we will, once it's in, that is where we'll see it. You've got props. So the props that come in and show up are like, and you can see right here, this is what's awesome because you're looking at all these other websites. It just comes in and shows the odds, the best odds on DraftKings, open in Caesars right now, and open in Bet365. So we love this. It shows you exactly what you want. You want to probably smash that in Anthony Santander over half a base, and you can see how many times he's done that this year, which we absolutely love. You got the EV Plus, you got the boost. So the boosts will come in from each website, and it'll show you, like right now it's got boost for NFL futures and stuff like that. So not every website will have boost during the day, but it will definitely have it there. You got arbitrage, you got middle bets as well. Those are all part of the pro package. Now, the link is down below. If you guys sign up with our link in the description of this video, you go through the 7-day free trial and you pay at the end $30 for the month. We are going to give you a free month of FTA Plus on top of that. You just got to show proof that you used our link. Secondly, they have a $130 package, a pro package for a month. If you go through the motions, go through the 7-day free trial, sign up, and then pay for that month, we are going to give you 3 months free of FTA Plus on top of that. So definitely check that out. But what I love to use, and this is one that I use every day for these videos and myself, we break down each game. So you go through, you can break down the games, you can check out the starting pitching, you can check out if anyone's had success against them, so on and so forth. So looking at this, Kevin Gausman. Which Kevin are we going to get? Okay, so we've got him in there. He's second highest priced pitcher. He's got a 4.55 ERA. Splits-wise, he has not pitched against Texas this year. When he pitches at home, he's got a 6.96 ERA compared to a 2.34 ERA. So for whatever reason, he has been bad at home. So in my mind, we are looking at probably fading the pitching and looking at the bats in this one. And what bats do we want to look at? So you see that Jonah Heim, 3 for 10 with a home run. You've got Corey Seager, 625 against him with a home run. Marcus Semien, a home run. Adolis Garcia, a home run. Leota Taveras, a home run. And then you break it down how these batters do against righties. I would use all of those bats we talked about. Then you could look at possibly depending on the lineup that comes up, maybe a Nate Lowe who's got 6 home runs against right-handed pitching. Josh Smith batting 270 with 8 home runs. I don't mind them at all there. I'm probably fading the pitching in this one and looking at bats on both sides. Now, batters against Michael Lorenzen, really haven't seen him, but the Toronto bats against right-handed pitching, Vladdy batting over 300 with 15 bombs, absolutely. You've got Davis Schneider, only batting 215, but does have 7 bombs. George Springer, probably a tournament-only option, 236 batting average, 10 home runs. Dalton Varsho, only 193, also has 10 home runs. So depending on the lineup that comes out for Toronto, I do not mind a stack for either team. I think I kind of like a Texas stack a little bit more, but I will have exposure to both sides of the offense here. I'm probably fading the pitching in this one. Then the San Diego Padres at the Orioles, Michael King versus Dean Kramer. Like I said, Michael King is the highest priced pitcher on this early slate, but Baltimore is projected to score the second most amount of runs behind the Yankees today for whatever reason. Then you look at the splits a little bit. Michael King on the road has been better. So it's really weird, the Vegas odds here. I think Vegas, it's looking like Vegas wants you to take Baltimore. So do we zig when they are zagging and we go with Michael King at 3.28 ERA? You could. You see his game logs coming off some pretty good games here. Kind of really picked up from what he was doing with the Yankees last year before getting traded. I don't mind him. But again, you guys know Baltimore is a fantastic hitting team. They're at home. that could spell disaster. So that's why you have to just look at the Vegas, look at the weather, look at everything here. Dean Kramer, on the flip side of that, he hasn't pitched much, but a 4.44 ERA. At home, he's given up a 6.16 ERA as well. 10 home runs in a ballpark that doesn't really give a ton of home runs up. I think maybe we go with Michael King. I think people are going to be on Baltimore, or we completely fade the pitching here and we just go bats on both sides. So the bats that have had success against right-handed pitching this year, Luis Campusano, if he's in there, batting .288 with 4 bombs. Higashioka batting .232, but does have 8 bombs. But I'm probably off Higgy and Camp. I'm probably looking at Manny Machado, Luis Ariz, Bogarts would be a little bit cheaper option, Cronenworth, and if you're looking for that 5th guy, Jackson Merrill batting .315 with 4 bombs against righties. In this ballpark, I think a San Diego stack could be sneaky today. And then if you want to fade Michael King because he's the most expensive pitcher on the slate, which is fine, Gunnar Henderson against a righty, would not be surprised if he goes yard here. Jordan Westberg, I don't mind Colton Cowser. He would be a cheap option there. Norby would be a cheap option. Doesn't have a ton of success against righties, but Connor Norby, I don't mind. And then just depending on who's out there, you could be looking at Mountcastle or Ryan O'Hearn. But again, Ryan O'Hearn's name, along with Cedric Mullins, have been floated out there to be traded. So that is something to pay attention to today. Then we've got the Reds at the Rays. Andrew Abbott versus Zach Littell. Abbott coming in. I don't mind him. Tampa Bay has been bad. They are a bad team overall. Andrew Abbott on the road has been better pitching, so I would use Andrew Abbott. To be honest with you, the bats in this one, I'm not really looking towards many bats here. Littell coming in, splits-wise, home games. He is a little bit better at home compared to on the road, but I am probably looking at Cincinnati over Tampa Bay in this one. So obviously the Cincinnati bats we'd be looking at. Elly De La Cruz. If he doesn't hit a home run, he gets on base. He's probably going to get you a couple of extra fantasy points with stolen bases. Would not be surprised. I would look at Tyler Stevenson. I would look at Elly De La Cruz. I would be looking at Candelario. I would be looking at Jake Fraley a little bit. Be a cheaper option, I think. And I don't mind Jonathan India, but the problem is his name has been floated to be traded as well, so that is definitely something that I would look at there. I'm not looking at Littell. I'm not looking at Tampa Bay bats. And then the Braves at the Mets, Spencer Schwellenbach versus Tyler Meagle. We look into this one. Schwellenbach being 8,000, has got a 4.62 ERA. On the road, he's got a 5 ERA. He has not faced the Mets this year. He's had a few up and down games. I don't think I really want pitching in this one. Then you got Meagle coming in. He hasn't pitched in a while, has he? Yeah, he hasn't pitched since the 29th because he got sent down and now he got called up. Splits-wise, he's facing Atlanta, which is not a fantastic matchup for him. I'm probably just on the bats in this one for both sides. So the Braves bats that I would look at, off him, Austin Riley. I would look at Orlando Arcia. I would look at Jared Kelenic. Not a ton. Like Marcell Ozuna bat 290 with 24 bombs obviously makes sense. A cheap catching option today could be Sean Murphy if you want to be sneaky here. Then the Mets bats that I would look at, Francisco Alvarez. I would look at Lindor. I would look at Pete Alonso, Harrison Bader. If you want to get cheaper, you could go Jose Iglesias or Tyrone Taylor as a stack. I'm not using pitching in this one. I'd rather use the bats there. And that is the early slate done. Early slate is done using Outlier and our own information. So we are done with the early slate. We now have a 2-game turbo slate in the middle. Cleveland, Philly, Minnesota at Detroit. Tariq Skubal, Joe Ryan, Tyler Phillips, and Carlos Carrasco. I can tell you right now, we don't even have to dig in a ton. Not a lot of people are going to play this slate. Tariq Skubal is going to be your number one. I do know that Minnesota does hit lefties well, but he's already faced them this year twice. 3 earned runs in those games, 12 Ks, 20.7 fantasy points is what he's averaging, and that's what we need. We used him against Cleveland and the Dodgers and Cincinnati here. He I don't believe, I think we stacked Minnesota against him last time. Only 3 earned runs, so not a ton, but I'm taking Tariq Skubal. Now, my problem is, he's a stud pitcher, and his name has been floated around to be traded from Detroit. So this is something that scares me a little bit because he is so expensive. He could get traded mid-game. You never know what's going to happen. So be wary of that. Then you got Joe Ryan coming in against Detroit. He's already faced him twice this year. 5 earned runs, 3.97 ERA. I think a sneaky stack could be Detroit bats. Now, whether or not we are looking at Matt Vierling, Wincio Perez, Javi Baez has kind of been heating up lately. Not particularly, but he's got a couple of home runs lately. Mark Canha, but his name has also been in the running for trade rumors. Those would be the ones you'd look at. Joe Ryan, on the road he has been worse. I don't know if I trust him enough. That's the problem. But when we look at this, then you got Tyler Phillips and Carlos Carrasco. Phillips has not faced Cleveland this year. Had some good games. The ones I'm looking at this, I'm looking at Tariq Skubal and Tyler Phillips. I'm also looking to stack Philly against Carlos Carrasco, Harper, Turner, Schwarber. It doesn't matter. Castellanos, Real Muto. It does not matter. I want a stack of Philly. I want a stack of Detroit, I think. I want Tariq Skubal and Tyler Phillips. Maybe a little bit of Joe Ryan, but I want absolutely nothing to do with Tyler Phillips today. Or Carlos Carrasco today, sorry. So now we get to the main slate, okay? We've got 9-game main slate. We've got a Colorado game, which this is the second game of Colorado. They have a doubleheader today. So we've got them, but we do have some weather concern here in St. Louis. It's definitely something to pay attention to. So we are going to go into here. Now, do not be screwed over. You can see these are doubleheaders, and it depends on which team we're actually going to see. Blake Snell, they think he's going to be this slate. Now, this could be skewed. You could see this. So definitely don't get screwed over, but we will definitely dig into this. So Ryan Feltner versus Blake Snell. Blake Snell coming in, start off the season terrible, went on to the IL. Now I've seen Blake Snell's name thrown out there for trade rumors to be traded. Now, this contract that he signed, it would be weird if he did get traded, but it would make sense, okay? Because, San Francisco is really not going anywhere. Splits-wise, he has not faced Colorado this year. He does have a great matchup here. His numbers are a little bit skewed, but pitching at home, 4.45 is better ERA. He's got great numbers. Not such a good game against the Dodgers. Only gave up 2 earned runs, but, only had 4 strikeouts. So didn't do a ton, but didn't give up a ton. But had a great game here against Minnesota. And a middle game here against Toronto. He's got a great matchup here against Colorado in this ballpark, which is a massive ballpark. The wind is blowing out, but it's a huge ballpark. I am looking at Blake Snell. I'm not really looking at the offenses here. Then you've got Ryan Feltner down here at the bottom, 5,300. You could always throw him in there in tournament if you make multiple lineups because he's so cheap. But he does have a 5.19 ERA. He's already faced San Francisco twice this year, given up 8 runs, 7 of them earned. I'm looking at San Francisco as a stack here. So just depending on which batch you want to look at, San Francisco is probably the go here. But again, wind is blowing out, but this is a massive ballpark for pitching. So San Francisco bats against Feltner. Anyone who's had success. Jorge Soler's hit him well. Tyler Fitzgerald is on fire right now. Those would be the 2 I'd look at. I'm also looking at Lamont Wade Jr., Patrick Bailey, and I'm probably looking at VR a little bit as well. So I do love a giant stack. Just make sure when the lineups come out, because they are in a doubleheader, that's the lineup that's out for the first game or the second game. I believe it's the second game. So definitely pay attention there in this game. Just make sure you're looking at the right game of the doubleheader for the lineup that comes out. Do not get screwed over. So then we got the second game. You can't play this one, so we're not going to look at this. We're going to just, which is weird. I don't know why they do it. It says 7:05 and then 7:10. It's not like they're doing a split squad somewhere. So I don't know why that's there, but we will move on to the next one. Cubs at the Royals. You got Shota versus Seth Lugo in a ballpark that is a pitcher's park. Amanaga versus Lugo, which not the matchup we thought we'd see at the top, but you can see they're the 2 most expensive pitchers on the slate. I think I read that the Cubs have scored a total of like 9 runs since the All-Star break, which seems wrong, but who knows? This is a pitcher's park. I like both of these pitchers. I think both of these pitchers are great options. They're most expensive. I'm not really looking at bats right now. If you wanted to fade Amanaga and go Kansas City bats, Salvador Perez and Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino and Kyle Isbell would be the ones I'd look at, but I kind of like the pitching in this one. I'm going both sides for pitching. I'm not really looking at the offenses today. Could I be wrong? Yes. At the end of this video, we're going to go over the simulations, and we will see all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. Maybe some from these teams make it, but that's where I'm looking at. Then you got the Dodgers at the Astros, Robleski versus Ronel Blanco. So Blanco's the third highest priced pitcher, $275. Couple of down games for his price. Splits-wise, he has not faced the Dodgers this year. Dodgers offense is sputtering right now. So I do not mind Blanco if you don't want to pay up. But to be honest, I'd probably am paying a couple more $100 here, $400 to go with Blanco. But the Dodgers, I'm probably fading them here. And then Robleski, I am looking at the Astros as a stack against Robleski. I'm looking at Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve. Yordan loves to hit lefties. If you look at this, Yordan Alvarez against lefties, batting .352 with only 5 bombs, but batting .352. I love him there. If for whatever reason Caratini is starting, he's hit in only 22 at-bats. He would be a cheap catching option today if you're looking for a stack. And then if you're looking for that fifth guy, I'm probably looking at either Jeremy Pena or Mauricio Dubon, depending who's starting there. But I'm not looking at the Dodgers bats. I will have a little bit of Blanco, not a ton, but a little bit of Blanco, and then Houston as a stack here. Then the Marlins at the Brewers, you got Max Meyer getting called up for this game, which is wild because he probably should have been called up prior to this. But you see, he last pitched, so he was doing well, and then they sent him down because they needed to control him because the way MLB, that's trash. But 2.12 ERA, again though, going up against Milwaukee, on the road, again, all these numbers are going to be skewed because he has 3 numbers. So do not look at the splits. I don't mind him at all, especially at 7,500. Yeah, I really don't mind him. And then you got Aaron Savali coming in, 5.17 ERA, got traded over from Tampa Bay, kind of up and down depending on who you're looking at and where he's pitching from. So his numbers between home and away are skewed since he got traded. So, use that for a grain of salt there. But if you think technically he is a home pitcher, but he hasn't pitched at home here very much. So the numbers could be skewed a little bit. So looking at that, we've got, I think it'd be sneaky. I think I like Max Meyer here. But if you want to go sneaky Miami stack today, I don't mind that. Josh Bell, Jake Berger would be my top 2. Jazz, I don't mind him, but again, his name has been floated in trade rumors, and it could happen. I wouldn't be surprised. Jesus Sanchez would be another one. Honestly, under the radar, Otto Lopez or Brian De La Cruz in a Miami stack. Don't sleep on Miami today. Then we got the Nationals at the Cardinals, Jake Irvin versus Kyle Gibson. This one scares me due to the weather. Little bit weary of the weather here, but again, we're how many hours away? We're 12 hours away from this game, so we will definitely pay attention. But if we're looking at this, Jake Irvin, I do not mind Jake Irvin. We've used him. I've picked him up in my season-long leagues this year. 3.44 ERA. Splits-wise, he has not faced St. Louis this year. His home and away splits are basically the same ERA. Coming off a great game against Cincy, he's had a couple of bad games against Milwaukee and the Mets, then a fantastic game against the Mets, so it just depends. St. Louis can hit, but I do not mind Jake Irvin. I'm probably fading St. Louis as a stack today. Now again, you guys know, I can be wrong sometimes, so I'm very much aware that I could be wrong, so that's definitely something to look at, but I don't mind Jake Irvin as a tournament pick. And then coming in, Kyle Gibson, 3.99 ERA. He's already faced Washington once this year. To be honest with you, if you want to be sneaky with a Washington stack, anyone who's had success, like Juan Yepes has a home run. Riley Adams I would look at. I would look at C.J. Abrams. Luis Garcia. Juan Yepes would be a very cheap option. Lane Thomas. I've heard Lane Thomas's name in the trade rumors as well, so that's definitely something to look at. And then maybe a little bit of Jesse Winker or James Wood to round out the top 5 in this game. Mariners at the White Sox, Brian Wu versus Eric Fedde. I love Brian Wu here. Eric Fedde actually has technically the top matchup against Seattle, who strikes out the most. But then we saw what Seattle did yesterday in an 8-run first inning. That's what scares me. And somehow Fedde's name has been thrown out there for trade rumors, about a 2.98 ERA. So he could be sneaky. The problem is he's already faced them once this year, only gave up 1 earned run, but only had 4 strikeouts. But still had enough fantasy points. So I think Eric Fedde could be a sneaky option. I think a lot of people are going to be on Mariners because of what they did yesterday. We got to forget the day before. It's DFS. It's daily fantasy. Daily. The next day. We got to forget what they did yesterday. We got to roll it on here. Don't mind Fedde for tournaments. I think Brian Wu is cash. I'm not really looking at offenses right now. Again, if Fedde has an off day and the Mariners put up what they do, Victor Robles, Cal Raleigh, they had back-to-back home runs yesterday, I believe. I think one was one a grand slam? I can't remember. But I do not mind either pitcher, especially Eric Fedde being 7,100 allows you to do a lot today. Yankees at the Red Sox. Boston strikes out the second most, so that would be Marcus Stroman. You look at Marcus Stroman's numbers, splits. He's already faced them once this year, gave up 4 earned runs, 4 walks, only 3 Ks. Didn't do much against them. His splits, though, when he's on the road, he is better on the road, 267. So I don't mind it for tournaments or pitches be crazy. But I do not trust him enough. And then Cutter Crawford, who just dominated the Yankees a few starts ago. 7 innings, 68 pitches. That was a Sunday night baseball game. They won 3-0, 25.4 fantasy points. Then had a great game against Kansas City, then struggled against the Dodgers. Would not be surprised if he dominates here. It was in Boston, or that was at Yankee Stadium. And then you look at his splits. He's faced him twice this year, giving up a total of 3 earned runs, has 2 dubs in that, 208, averaging 26.2 against them. Love me some Cutter Crawford here. Now, I love the Yankees, obviously, but they just look like trash right now. They haven't won back. They've only won back-to-back games, I think, once since June 14th, and they've only won 2 series since June 14th in Kansas City. Because I did not go to that series. I was supposed to, and I did not. That's why they've struggled since then. I do believe that. Obviously, the Red Sox bats, if you're looking to stack against Stroman, Jarren Duran, Rafi Devers, makes a lot of sense. Yoshida has been doing well. Rafaela has been doing well. It just depends on the lineup that comes out there. So definitely pay attention, but would not be surprised if a Boston stack goes off today. Then you got the Pirates at the Diamondbacks. I like Brandon Pfaadt here, and I like the Arizona Diamondbacks against Marco Gonzalez. So he is the second lowest priced pitcher. He's only got a 270 ERA. He hasn't really done anything sexy, but his price is very low. The strikeouts have been about 4. You're averaging about 4 a game. He's had 2 starts since coming back from getting sent down. 8 strikeouts in those games, 3 earned runs. Hasn't really done much with his salary, though. That's the problem. I'm probably looking at Arizona. Arizona just seems to hit lefties well. And we will see the batters that hit lefties well right here. So taking a look, the Arizona bats that hit lefties well that I enjoy using most of the time. Gabriel Moreno. I do not mind him. No home runs, though. It's a little bit scared about that one. But Ketel Marte batting .350 with 13 bombs. I do not mind him at all. Christian Walker. Surprised he hits righties better or lefties better, but he has more home runs against righties. So make it make sense. I don't know. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., 5 home runs, 336 batting average. Jake McCarthy, 356 batting average. I do not mind an Arizona stack here. I don't trust Marco Gonzalez enough that scares me away. Perdomo makes a little bit of sense. You could look at Kevin Newman. Probably not as much as I would look at, though. That's where I'm at here. looking at that, and then if you think Brandon Pfaadt's not going to have a good game, like, you can dig into his numbers a little bit. He has had good games. He's also had not so good games. 8,400, 374 ERA, so respectable ERA. You'd love to see it a little bit lower. Splits-wise, has not faced Pittsburgh this year. Pitching at home, he is actually better at home, so I do not mind Brandon Pfaadt. I'm not really looking at Pittsburgh bats at all. Then the final game, but before the final game, we have the keyword of sleep, because your boy got a nap yesterday. The 8-day-old prodigy son that will take over this website someday slept pretty damn good through the night. Only woke up. We only had to feed him 3 times. So, one night he woke up like every hour to eat, which makes no sense. His stomach's like this big. But yeah, so keyword is sleep. Very excited. A little bit more energized today. So hopefully we can continue this roller coaster and it just keeps going up. Or no, roller coaster go down. Whatever the analogy, we're just going up. We don't want to go down. Unless it's down for a nap, then we're okay. So, final game. Mitch Spence versus Tyler Anderson. Now, Oakland strikes out the 4th most out of any team, so Tyler Anderson, and they face each other a ton. I think they just faced each other. Nope, back on June 25th. Problem is, he only had 2 strikeouts in that game. His strikeouts have been up and down, like 8 against Seattle, they strike out a ton. We used him against Seattle in that one. Helped very much for us. Splits-wise, he's only faced him once this year. At home, he's got a 3.88 ERA, so at home he just gets hit hard. I'm probably, DFS purposes, I'm not on him. I like the offenses more than pitching, both sides. So what I would look at would be both sides offense-wise. Oakland bats against Tyler Anderson. I would definitely be taking a look at Miguel Andujar. I don't mind him at all. He's batting 500 against lefties this year if he's in there. Lawrence Butler, very cheap option. Been on fire, but hasn't done well against lefties. Brent Rooker batting 268 with 8 bombs. I don't mind him. J.J. Bleday would be a cheap option there. Abraham Toro could be a very cheap option there. I don't mind them. Shea Langoliers would be another one if we're going with an Oakland stack. But I think I like the Angels just a little bit more than I do like Oakland there. Logan O'Hoppy's at the top of my list for catchers today, 303 with 11 home runs. You got Zach Neto with 11 home runs. I don't mind him. You've got Willie Calhoun batting 262. I think he'd be a cheap option. I think a lot of people are going to be on Brandon Drury, but I might fade Drury today. I would go Taylor Ward. And then I'm probably looking at either Mickey Moniak or Nolan Schanuel to shore up an Angel stack today. And there you have it. That is every game on the slate, all of the pitchers, all of the bats. What else could you ask for? But we've got you. Pitches be crazy. Now, this pitches be crazy right here is what we're going to look at. These are the top 5 or 6 pitchers today. Now, these are not the only pitchers to use. These are not the only ones to use. But these are the teams that strike out the most out of any team so far this year. So what we'll look at right now, Seattle strikes out the most, 10.22 times per game. Seattle on the road strikes out 10.10. Eric Fetty versus Seattle. Number 1, right there. Sneaky option, maybe. Number 2 is Marcus Stroman at Boston. Boston strikes out 9.67 times per game. At home, 9.44. Stroman kind of has struggled against him this year. Only had 4 strikeouts in that game prior. If he's got his great stuff, we could definitely see him be number 2. Number 3 is a combination of Blake Snell and Hayden Birdsong against Colorado because, again, it's a doubleheader. So if you're using for like sports betting, Colorado strikes out 9.58 times per game, and on the road, 10.15. Next is Tyler Anderson, which we kind of just talked about. I don't know if I trust this enough. Up against Oakland, Oakland strikes out 9.42 times per game. On the road, they strike out 10.15. So they strike out more on the road than they do at home. But their last 3, they've only averaged 6.67 strikeouts a game. Their last 1 game, 6. So use that information how you will. And then the final one is Zach Littell versus Cincy. Cincy strikes out 9.08 times per game. On the road, they strike out 9.4 times per game. So top 5 or 6, Eric Fetty, Marcus Stroman, Blake Snell and Hayden Birdsong, Tyler Anderson, and Zach Littell. Now, we are going to look at the top bats that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through our simulations. If you want to see the simulations in their full glory, MLB tab right here, MLB DFS simulation. So, sometimes we've had 3 10 out of 10. Sometimes we've had 31. We have a little bit, we have more than 3, but not very many today. So, taking a look, we've got Taylor Ward versus Mitch Spence, number 1. Number 2 is Corey Seager. 3, Ryan O'Hearn. 4, Randall Grichuk. 5, Brenton Doyle. 6, Lamont Wade Jr. 7, Michael Conforto. 8, Christian Yelich, not Christian Yelich. Gabriel Moreno, 8. 9, Danny Jansen. 10, Mike Yastrzemski. And 11 is Ha-Sung Kim going up against Dean Kramer. So if you want to check that out, we've got all the simulations on the website. Check it out right there, along with player projections, Vegas odds, batter splits, BVP matchups, stolen base targets, our cheat sheet. Now, I want to show you our cheat sheet from Friday. So this is just something you want to look at. You can check this out. A weekly pass for $10 will get you every sport here for you. So let's take a look. This is yesterday's cheat sheet, just kind of how it's broken down. So if you want to take a look, you've got Fanduel and DraftKings. We've got all of the pitchers here, then 5 or 6 plays at each position for cash, 5 or 6 plays for each position here. Then we've got stacks here, the pitcher to target against, the team to target, and then the stacks that we like as well. On top of that, ownership percentages. DK, FanDuel, got weather tab to see if there's a weather chance, delay, postpone, humidity, batter ratings, pitcher rating. The higher the humidity, the better chance for the long ball to happen. We've got FanDuel, early lineups, main lineups, DraftKings, stuff like that, and then boomstick shots. So anyone that we predict to hit a home run, those are just part of the premium content for FTA+. 1 week pass gets you MLB, NASCAR in 2 weeks when it comes back, NFL when it comes back, NBA when it comes back, PGA, and MMA. Once we go up to having MLB, we'll have the other sports there. Check that out. We're very excited for NFL to be right around the corner. So we're very, very, very excited. I want to thank everyone for checking these videos out. If you have any questions, get those down below. Good luck today. And as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.